yesterday we got amazing stuff about talent acquisition. You guys agree? How to find the best people, how to build an agency, how to grow. But in my opinion, we can acquire as much talent as you want. But if you do not teach them how to sell in a sales organization, in an insurance sales organization, what is the use of acquiring talent? If we do not teach them how to go in the field and make money. Do you guys agree with that? And over the last couple years, I think we've put a lot of time and effort into different things that we stopped putting it into how to do a perfect presentation. And we started accepting that people should be doing 20 presentations and only closing 2 or 3 sales, which I think is the exact opposite the way that our company was built, the way Altig was built. We are all closers. You guys know that you're here right now because each and every one of you learned how to close in the field. Do you guys agree? You wouldn't be here if you weren't talented at dealing with people. So I want to go through how to do, in my opinion, a perfect presentation. The reason I love talking about it is because everything I'm going to go over is none of my material. This is all stuff that I've taken from people 10 times better than me. I just get the opportunity to say it to each and every one of you. And you know, everybody talks and everybody asks field operation managers questions. Well, how are you guys always so excited? How do you guys always do so well in the field? And I think it comes down to what Trevor was talking about yesterday. It's all about positive affirmation. So I'm going to give you guys a little secret, and I want everybody to do it with me. Every field operations manager, you can ask Lauren, you can ask Todd, you can ask Stefan, you can ask Kevin. We all sit in the car before every presentation, and we look in the rearview mirror, and we adjust it to ourselves, and we just say, damn, I'm good looking. And that's just what we do. So I want everybody, if we can just do this once, I want everybody to adjust their rearview mirror, and in 3 seconds, I just want you to look at yourself and say, damn, I'm good looking. You guys ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Damn, I'm good looking. That's all you need to do, and you have a perfect presentation. I love it. So guys, there's 4 parts to a presentation. And if you do not believe that the words that we say and how we say it impact our sales, then you guys are very wrong. This is not a recital. We do not walk into a client's home and just muddle words. We perform them, and we get reactions, and we are in sales, which means you need to be good at sales. So, first part of the presentation is the setup. Do you guys know that it's weird that we walk into a client's home and 45 minutes later, they give us $2,000 for the rest of their life every year? Is that pretty crazy? I still think that. Every time I'm on a plane and I'm going to a different area, I go, man, somebody's gonna give me $2,000 for the rest of my life and the rest of their lives just because I speak well in the first 45 minutes. So the setup is important. There's 4 key things that you need to do when you're setting up a presentation. 1, you guys need to have a trump card. And if I've been to your office over the last couple months, you guys have heard me talk about this over and over and over again. You need to have a trump card. A trump card to me is how I can answer any question that a client gives me. So if I'm doing a referral presentation, how often did the referral call their brother, find out what their brother does, find out what they do in the union meetings, find out how the benefits work, and are fully prepared when you sit down in front of a referral? How many times does that happen? Never. So my first question to every referral is, did you call your brother and find out exactly what he did for you? And when they say no, at that point, I need to do all the work for them. I need to back up. I need to explain. I need to tell them what their brother did, which means for the rest of the presentation, if somebody asks me a question, well, Troy, I didn't know I had to sign something today. You know what, John, I can't remember. Did you call your brother and ask him exactly what he did for you? No? Okay, well, that's probably why you didn't know what's going on. Hey, Troy, I didn't know this was about permanent insurance benefits. I can't remember. John, did you talk to your brother yesterday before I got over here? No, you didn't. Okay, no big deal. I'll explain it for you. And if we're doing a union presentation, how many times do you guys tell your agents to ask whether they get involved in their union? You guys all do that, right? So how many times do people say they went to the meeting? Never. So my trump card in a union is every time they ask me something, as long as I made sure that they didn't get involved and do what they were supposed to, now I have a trump card. And for new agents, this is something that empowers them, because what are new agents afraid of? They're afraid of getting a question they don't know the answer to. But now we have the answer to everything. I can't remember, John. Were you at the meeting where they talked about how your permanent benefits work? No, that's okay. I'll back up and I'll re-explain. Your agents need to feel empowered. And as soon as somebody tells them that they don't know what's going on, your agents now have a trump card for the rest of the presentation. That's number one. Number two is we need to establish control. Everything I'm going over, you guys already know. The only difference is people who close like Ryan and like Mark and like Dan, they know how to perform words better than most. So how do we establish control? What's the first question we ask somebody in a presentation right at the door? Is Mary home? Not because I need to know if your wife's there. Why? Because the benefits apply to her as well. I'm asking questions from the get-go so that I have control of the conversation. If you don't teach your agents how to have control in a presentation, they will never be successful in the field, period. Do you guys tell them where to sit at their own table? Do you guys find it funny that we walk into somebody else's house and in the first 30 seconds tell them where to go sit at their own kitchen table? Is that weird? I think it's pretty weird. How many times have you guys had a friend come over and go, hey, Troy, it's really nice to see you again. I'd love to go sit at your couch right now. Do you mind? Why don't we go sit there together? It just doesn't happen. Why? Because their kitchen table is our office. So you establish control by asking questions. And if people don't understand why they're asking them, it defeats the purpose. You guys need to understand that in the first 5 minutes, you need to create credibility and authority. How do we create credibility for all of American income? We work with 45,000 groups and organizations across North America. You guys have said 45,000 so many times that it loses meaning to you guys. But to a client who's never seen you before, 45,000 groups is outrageous. So you need to perform it like it's outrageous, and you need to empower the company. Then you need to create authority. And that's why we put that line in there that Ryan and Mark came up with, letting them know that I'm the benefit specialist that takes care of every major group in this area. The police, the firefighters, the veterans, the Teamsters, I do all that. So now what is the client looking at you like in the first 5 minutes? I'm a big freaking deal because I work with 45,000 groups. I'm telling you where to sit at your own table. I'm making sure that your wife is there because this is important, and I basically do everything. You know, people always ask, well, can Mark and Ryan's stuff be duplicated? 100% it can, if you know why you're saying what you're saying and you learn how to perform it. So in the first 5 minutes of a presentation, you need to establish 4 different things. You need to establish control, you need to establish credibility, you need to establish authority for the company with the groups we work with. And the last thing that I got from Ryan, which I love doing, guys, and it's not in a script yet, in the warm-up, most new agents suck at warm-ups. Do you guys know that? They don't have a personality yet. They don't know how to talk to people. They don't know how to engage. So why don't we give them a warm-up to talk about? Have you guys ever asked a client, do you know the difference between a temporary and a permanent benefit? What's the typical answer to that? No. You know what they do? They go like this. Well, I guess temporary goes away and permanent lasts forever. I go, yeah, you're 100% correct. And then I have the client tell me in the first 5 minutes that their work benefits are temporary. You guys ever ran into somebody who says, I already have benefits through work? How would you like to handle that in the first 5 minutes of your presentation and never deal with it again? Ask them, do you understand what I'm saying? And as soon as they go, well, I guess temporary goes away. Yeah, 31 days after you leave your job or retire, those go away, right? You know that, I'm a union too. How good are your new agents gonna feel when they know that's an objection that's never gonna come up again in their presentation? I use the analogy of rock climbing. You guys know they climb like 10 feet and then they stick something in the stones so that if they fall again, they can only fall back as far as that last peg. You need to give your agents 4 pegs in the first 5 minutes and empower them and make them feel good. Next thing that I want to talk about is we need to set up the needs analysis. Actually, before I get to that, I want to clear one thing up while we're on camera. The notification list, the emergency contact thing, it has to go away. We are not picking up referrals because somebody's going to be notified when something happens. We pick up referrals to go protect their family, period. You guys with me on that? Okay, I'm never going to another home in another territory where I walk in and they ask me if they just have to sign a piece of paper because they're on some sort of special list. So we pick up referrals to go protect families. And we need to set up a needs analysis. So do you guys know that we have a special A button in our planet? Do you guys see it? Certificate, fresh letters, POS. What's the A button stand for? The A button now prints out every letter that union's ever created. And do you guys know that we have letters signed by presidents of unions that describe and take care of every objection that you could possibly get? Do you guys know what I'm talking about with that letter? Are you guys using that letter? Do you know how much power that letter gives you? When you go see a referral that was referred by John, who's part of the Teamsters, do you bring that Teamsters letter into the referral and say, hey, by the way, your brother's been in the union for so long, I get to treat you just like you've been with the Teamsters for 10 years. And this is what they get, and I'm going to read it to you. If you guys are not using that letter, you're wasting resources that allow you to handle objections before they take place. And I love telling people, you know what the needs analysis does? It simply takes into account, and this is my favorite line, didn't come up with it myself. It takes into account your age, takes into account your family situation, and it takes into account your income. And what this is going to do is generate only the benefits that they know you do not have taken care of right now. So how powerful is that line? Whether it's a referral, whether it's a union member, whether it's a POS, it doesn't matter. I'm going to take into account you specifically. Age, family, income, and I'm only going to generate benefits they know you don't have taken care of yet. Who's they? They is everybody that's not me. They could be the company, they could be the union, they could be the world. I don't care who it is, it's just not me. So tell people why you're setting up a needs analysis, and then let them know that they're only benefits they don't have, and they get excited about it. Okay, that's how you set up doing the benefits portion of the presentation. Third, I feel like you guys need to kill affordability before it comes up. So, do we all know what hour power is? Pretty sure we do, right? Okay, so do not go past hour power until the client tells you that 1 or 2 hours is affordable. Period. What's the use of talking if we're not getting the result that we want as salespeople? 1 hour of your wage, is that going to change your lifestyle? And if they do not tell you that it won't change your lifestyle, then repeat what you're saying until they get the point. Ryan is so straight up with this that it's almost awkwardly uncomfortable in the home because I just want to start laughing. Because he basically has a sale before he even goes through benefits. And he tells people, listen, I know we're in the States, we're in Canada, we don't budget well. We spend half our money on crap we don't need. Now, I'm not sure if you guys can pull off crap, but this is just the way Ryan says it, so I'm going to tell it to you. We spend half our money on crap we just do not need. Stuff. And that's fine. Spend your money on what you want, it's yours. Just make sure you take those first 2 hours and set it aside so when that day comes and something happens, not only do you always have everything you've wanted, but your family's fully protected. So do you understand why they set it up that way? Do you understand why it's affordable? Do you understand why every union member and every family member is trying to get it? Do you understand that? And once they tell you yes, you have a sale before you even start a presentation. And this is stuff that you can give your agents that can empower them from day one to be closers. We are no longer going to be part of an organization that does not close at 35% or more. Your agents close 1 out of every 3 presentations that they see, period. And that's all of 2014. I think that's awesome. And the last thing, guys, is the close. First of all, your agents need to know a presentation. I travel from office to office to office. And they know how to book an interview. They know how to book an appointment. And they don't know the close question, which I think is a little backwards. So, the way that Ryan does it is my favorite thing of all time. I've been doing it for the last couple months. If I've been to your office in the last 90 days, I'm doing a straight Kendall presentation. He basically says at the close, he lets them know that he's union, which means that he's getting paid like a union member. I'll give you guys a hint. If somebody ever says, do you get paid on commission? Just say, listen, John, I'm a union just like you are. I get paid every Friday. I just have to earn my commissions to get it, but I don't say that last part, right? So what's the close question? I'm union just like the company is. And it doesn't matter to me, it doesn't matter to the company which program you get started with. Most members start with what I showed you. And that's based on 2 hours, which takes care of all of your needs. Some members, though, John, they get really excited about the benefits, and they ask if they can set aside 3 or 4 hours and lock everything in, and that's okay too. But what most members do is they just start with their 2 hours or their 1 hour, then just go ahead and add to it down the road. So do you want to get started with what I showed you, or do you want to try to double it right away? What do you think most people say when I put $180 down as option 1 and $350 down as option 2? Which one do they want to take? Option 1. And this is the reaction you get from every client. No, Troy, no. We'll just start with option 1. And I'll ask you the medical questions to make sure that you can qualify. Guys, I'm telling you, if next year we can get a unified presentation, which we are going to have by the beginning of 2014, if we can get every office back on the same script and the same presentation that we know that you can train on and that you can teach and that you can close on. Next year, I promise you, every office and every agent that you train, that you put time and effort into, will be closing at 35%. And they will enroll 1 out of every 3 families they see, and we will protect more families and more people next year than ever before in the history of Altig, because we are the best closers that American Income has to offer. And I'm excited to work with each and every one of you. Thank you.